So today's video is speaking on who I am and where I got it from. So when you're a kid, or I should say when you are a kid, you kind of look at your surroundings, and when you get older and older, you kind of realize your own person, your own dreams, who you are as an individual. And pretty often and not, you're very similar to the person that you look up to, because let's say you're doing something and you have your mother or your grandfather go, that reminds me of your dad. He used to do that when he was a kid. So you're following in their footsteps. Because my dad always used to tell me stories, ladies and gentlemen, of, I'll tell you this, he used to tell me stories of him going to the Colorado River, him going and boating, drinking beers, and he would tell me one story that I will never forget, that he was in Denver, Colorado, I think it was, and he was having a picnic in a blizzard. It was snowing outside, and the picnic started before it was snowing, and it basically, what happened was, they were having a picnic with a friend that he met in Hawaii, and they were just chilling, eating, having a great time, and it snowed, and they were like, we're gonna finish this, we're gonna hang out, have a great time. And that's an experience that he will always have with him for the rest of his life. And another story that he has told me was, he was kind of passed out drunk in his car, and somebody was driving his car back from the Colorado River, and they had an RV, and he said these hot girls that I guess they were hot, were in the RV, and they were literally having the door open, and they were handing beers to the people that were in the car while they were drinking and driving and having a great time. So my dad ends up finding out once he wakes up and they get to a gas station. He's like, nah, son, I'm driving the rest of the way. I don't care if I have a little bit of a headache from being a little tipsy. I'm driving home. So he ended up driving his car all the way home. But he said literally people were handing beers and food from the RV to the car while they drive. And to me, that's an experience that you can only have once in a lifetime. You having cell phones or you having cameras, that's not going to be a lifestyle. That's not going to be something you can remember. But I think a lot of the stories that my dad's told me is I get the traveling bug from him, because he's traveled from California to Vancouver, Washington, to British Columbia, to Hawaii. He's done mostly the whole West Coast traveling by car, and he's seen a couple of countries outside of America, from the Bahamas to Venezuela, and he loves that kind of stuff. And I get the traveling bug from him. I get the hard workingness from him. On the other hand, when you look at my mom, for example, she used to be the type of person that would go out to the where I lived and would go and hang out and feed the animals. And feed the ducks. Where I lived, you used to get like hundreds and hundreds of ducks and geese and birds, and she would go out there with like a loaf of bread and feed the animals, because that was her passion in life. She loved animals, and that's why to this day I have a cat, because my mom loved cats and she was a cat person. So I believe I got the trait of loving cats because of my mom, and cats love me for some reason. Like my boy Nick's cat just came up to me and started having me pet him. So cats are very friendly animal, and I get that vibe. So I get that from my mom's side. And my dad's side is he used to love to travel. He loves to travel by road. The last major road trip I did was from Jacksonville, Florida to Atlanta, which is about a 5-hour drive, which for a lot of people you might say it's a boring ass drive going from here to there, because all you see is the countryside. And one thing that I really can remember about my father, I will always remember, even when he's passed, because he's still alive, but when he passes, this will stand out more than anything in the world. you work for what you want in life. And I think that's why I have that mentality of I work for everything I want in life. If I want a car, I pay for it out of my own pocket. I'm not asking for anybody's money. And that's how my dad is. He's a very proudful individual. He works for everything in life. He won't ask for like help or ask for people's generosity. Hey, can you give me like $1,000? I need some money to pay my bills. He's not that kind of person. If he can't afford it, he'll find a way to make that money. So for me, I get that proudfulness from my father because I don't ask for help. Even if I need help, I don't, because I think as an individual, it makes you a stronger person for you persevering and getting what you want. And I think, like I said, my dad's that way. He is a very proud person. Everything he's ever had in life, he's accomplished himself. And that's one reason I'm the person I am today, where, yes, I have money. I could spend money. I could buy a new computer. I could buy a new, better phone. I could buy a car. I could do whatever. But I'm the type of person now that I love to save money. And when I have money, I love to spend it on myself, on buying what I want. Or I spend most of my money on vacation trips, on traveling. But that is the thing that I think of over the last couple of years, that I get that trade from being a very proudful individual from my father, because he's that kind of person that if you want something in life, you work your ass off for it. You don't get handed to it. It's not like the kids nowadays, the millennials, who think you get everything handed to you. My dad grew up in a generation where if you wanted a car, you bust your ass and you get that car. You want, let's say, a cell phone or an iPhone, your mom and daddy ain't gonna pay for it. You buy it out of your own pocket because you make the grind and the hustle and you work your ass off to get what you want. And that's how I am as an individual. I try to bust my ass in everything I do in life and work as hard as I possibly can in every aspect of life to get where I want. And if you've seen all these little clips popping up in the video, these are from like me traveling, me seeing different places, and just whatnot. They're from my vlog channel, so if you ever want to check out my vlogs, I put very much a lot of time into my vlogs, because it's like my dad said, if you're going to do anything, you put 150% into it. It doesn't matter if it's a YouTube video or it's a 9-to-5 job. You bust your ass to get where you want in life. And I try to bust my ass in everything I do, and I think that all comes down to the experiences that I've learned from my father. So if you guys want to make a video about this, speaking on who you are as an individual and where you came from, that would be pretty cool. Just send me a link and I'll definitely watch it, because it's always cool to find out where you come from. And if you never think about it, and if you actually sit down and think about it, you might actually think, wow, I am like my dad, or wow, I am like my mom. And that will play with you, because a lot of times a lot of people don't think about where they come from, or if they're like their dad, or they're like their mom, or they're like their brother. But when you really think about it, it's kind of crazy that you might be like, well, I am very similar to my dad in many ways, but I am very similar to my mom in a lot of ways too. But overall, guys, if you want to make a video, like I said, it's a cool little thing to actually make. And if you could make one and send me a link, I would appreciate it, because it's always cool to hear your experiences and what you want to accomplish in life. Like I said, my accomplishments in life is want to travel the world and see what the world has to offer, and see different cultures and meet different people from different places. Because I think meeting different people from different cultures, the one thing is, it's going to make you un-racist, because you're going to meet different cultures and understand different cultures, and understand these people are very similar to you in certain ways. They live the life like you do. They wake up, go to work, take care of their family, but their culture is a little different. But the aspect of their life is very similar to what I and you live. And the only other race that I've seen was when I went to the Bahamas. That's the only other people I've seen outside of the U.S. And to me, they were very hard-working individuals, and they seemed very cool and very awesome. So with that being said, I will definitely talk to you guys in the next one.